Prisoner strip.
Bonhoeffer, Agent of Grace, is a movie that reflects upon the true story of a German Lutheran pastor, Dietrich Bonhoeffer, whose conscience led him to give his life for the cause of human rights.
You tremble, Pastor. Afraid? I'm cold. So, this is the end. No.
I give you Dietrich Bonhoeffer.
After being welcomed to the United States, Bonhoeffer willingly chooses to return to Germany to help the Jews, whose human rights were being violated by the rise of the Nazi regime in his country. Being a German, Bonhoeffer could also have had ignored the plight of the Jews, but he chose instead to actively participate in the fight against the Third Reich for reasons of his faith.
It's a bribe. We're hoping we can keep you so happy and so preoccupied you won't have time to think about returning to Germany.
Bonhoeffer joined the Abwehr, the German military intelligence organization led by Wilhelm Canaris, who was also an opponent of Hitler. The organization gave Bonhoeffer and those like him access to vital war information, which would be passed to anti-Nazi contacts.
Take Charlotte out, come on.
Dr. Bonhoeffer?
Yes?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Until further notice, you're forbidden to speak in public, to publish your writings, and to teach. And you're to report to the Gestapo once a week. Is that clear? Good evening. Be careful. Gentlemen, it's my duty to arrest you if you refuse to take the oath. So let us please recite it together.
As the Third Reich became increasingly violent, employing concentration camps in a campaign to exterminate the Jews, Bonhoeffer, along with others, began plotting against Hitler. Their plan was to have Klaus von Stauffenberg, one of the members of the organization, leave a briefcase bomb in Hitler's planning room. Unfortunately, the plan failed and those involved were arrested the following day.
So help me God.
Like everything else these days, it's very confusing. It seems to be about Admiral Canaris. They found his diaries and arrested him. I thought he was one of Hitler's chums. Anyway, seems as if Hitler's in a royal snit. Apparently that was Hitler's response to Canaris.
In the aftermath of the failed assassination attempt, Bonhoeffer and other opponents of Hitler were also apprehended. After a short trial, they were tortured and eventually executed. The German Schutzstaffel were especially cruel to those who plotted to kill Hitler. To this day, some debate whether Bonhoeffer was actually hanged as depicted in the movie, or whether this was actually a story fabricated by his captors after the war to cover for what many believe was a far more cruel and violent death. Regardless, it is clear that Dietrich Bonhoeffer gave his life for his faith and his conscience at a time when very few Germans had the courage to do so.
Where the hell are we going?
Who cares? We'll know when we run out of petrol. We need faith and Jesus Christ at its center.
Real Christianity means sharing each other's pain. It is not for us to prophesy the day when men will once more ask God that the world be changed and renewed. But when that day arrives, there will be a new language. Perhaps quite non-religious, but liberating and redeeming.
Bonhoeffer said that the ultimate test of a society is the kind of world that it leaves to its children. There is no shortage of would-be tyrants in our world. Let's ensure that every generation is raised in a society that respects human rights so that more men and women of conscience, like Dietrich Bonhoeffer, can take a stand against them.
You're to go with this man.
Where are you taking me?
Flossenburg.